Let's listen to an important public service message. Public service message. Public service message.
The p.e.t.a. has a miracle. I got my grub on. The p.e.t.a. has a miracle.
The tradition of, my attempt to get back to basics. Same time, get on the liquor too. I should get decided to go back to the basics on my reasons. Why did you stop this? Why did you stop that? Why you stop eating this? Why you start eating that? Or whatever. I never said this before. I figured I'd back up and do that for everybody who's just getting on this, just transitioning, or you debating on it or whatever. Just give you my reasons and you can think on them, make your own decisions. But I'm gonna start with what I gave up first. First thing was the red meat and the pork. And as I said on the journey video, that was just all part of a bet. See if I could do it for 30 days. Red meat, pork, and sweets, sugar. So during the time of the fast, I did 30 days fast off of that. During that time, I did a little research and shit, and I found out how they were treating the food I was getting. Now, I ain't talking about no p.e.t.a. shit. Like, I'm not saying that I was really concerned about the cruelty to the animals, even though I was. Like, you can't look at that shit that they do and not be affected by that shit. And I hope nobody didn't take that shit I said on the p.e.t.a. video the wrong way. Like, I'm saying it's alright to abuse any living being. That's not what I was saying. I was saying as far as survival, I will eat the meat to survive. That I won't consider that immoral. But mistreatment of an animal is mistreatment of an animal. Like, that's not righteous behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's not right. That shit bothered me, watching the treatment. But the thing that bothered me the most was the processing, the hormones, and the shit they was giving the things in order to mass produce milk and to fatten up the animals and shit. Like, that's the shit that was bothering me the most, because that's the shit that I'm ingesting also. Now, like I said, it damn sure disturbed me to see cows with udders that was on the floor. Like, I'm talking about udders almost the size of the cow. The shit was so big that the cow couldn't stand up. Like, huge. Like, I don't even know how to describe the shit. The shit was just protruding out of the damn cow like crazy. Like the size of 2 or 3 udders. So that shit fucked me up. And then realizing they were injecting this cow with all these hormones so they could produce more milk that I'm about to drink. It's like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, you know, and you really do got to think about your responsibility in that. If you're going to buy this shit, then you are contributing to the treatment of these animals. Like, I just want to make sure I stress that. What else? Pork. Yeah, that was, oh, okay, the meat thing. Also, just the digestion facts. 30 days in your system, red meat's supposed to sit in your system. And just the fact that how you have to prepare it. As I already spoke on before, that you ain't finna tear off into no animal's ass raw. You ain't finna bite no chunk out of no animal, period. You can't. That's the point. So the things you have to go through to eat it, like, that shit just made me feel like it was just an unnatural process. Like why I shouldn't be eating nothing that I gotta beat, pound, stab, marinate, season, then cook, like, or grind up. Like, it's just too much shit. It's too much shit involved. Like, yeah, so that's just obviously unnatural to me. And I don't think there's no more reasons that I had at that time. I probably could think of some more shit now that I haven't learned. Learned about E. coli and all that shit. That shit Oprah was on about the beef industry. You don't have to do a whole lot of research to find reasons not to fuck with that shit. And the main problem is the processing, the way we handle our meat. You can go to other countries and people are raising their own cows and cattle and livestock, all type of shit without the chemicals and the hormones, and they are not having these health problems we having either. So I just want to be well aware that we establish that this is not a. I don't promote veganism and none of that shit as the only way to live, but I do definitely say all processing of any food is detrimental to human health. Okay. Swine. I'll never forget this, probably as long as I live. I read on some site, I don't know what it was, how I found it, said pork makes you dumb, sick, and slow. And I was that fucked me up. Like, that was the only thing I researched that had mental effects. Like, everything else I was reading, okay, telling you about high blood pressure, heart attack, strokes, kidney failure, whatever, getting fat. But nothing else told me I was gonna be dumb. That I was gonna get dumb if I eat this shit. Like, that shit, that fucked me up, fam. Dumb, sick, and slow. Like, all I could think of was, like, retarded. Like, you telling me this shit is making me retarded, nigga? Yeah, man. Retarded meat, nigga. Then I read something was saying that what it'll eat. That's what I started getting into. What a pig can consume without dying. The poisons that it can consume without dying, man. Like, all kind of shit. Arsenic and crazy shit. Like, shit that would kill any other animal. Pigs can eat it. But then I saw the shit about the worms. Of course, you're gonna always run into the trichina worms, pronunciation, I don't know. But yeah, the whole worm thing, the fact that they will never stop eating, fucked me up. Like, when I learned that the term greedy pig comes from the fact that pigs will eat as long as there is food. Period. Like, if there's food, a never-ending supply of food, your pig will never stop eating. It will never look up. It'll just eat and shit simultaneously while it eats. That's kind of crazy. Like, that's just fucked me up. Like these are real interesting pig facts that I had never heard of. And last but not least, the one that, put the nail in the coffin was that I read that pigs were born with 2 holes in their hind legs, like in the middle of their hind legs. Yeah. 2 holes on their legs that they're born with that constantly ooze pus. Pus. They got pus holes. They can't get out enough waste from pissing and shitting because they so fat and nasty and eat all the time that they had to have holes for waste to come out their legs. I just can't even imagine how that shit look. Pus. That ain't nothing but mucus, snot, waste. That was the most disgusting thing I had ever heard of at that point in time. And I think that was about all I needed to hear. I don't remember. It was more shit. I had just thought of something too. But, I mean, what else do you need, man? I had already been hearing about swine for all my life from my uncle. The headache thing, I did instantly get a headache. I think I told y'all that after my 30 days off of meat and pork, I ate that damn meat lovers pizza, and that shit made me sick, stomach hurt, headache, all that shit. I had to sit the fuck down. So I knew from that point that it was something about that pork shit. It's just poison, like it's eating a poisonous animal. I was a poisonous animal eater. There was something else about the pork that I was gonna say, but I mean that should be enough, man. Dumb, sick, and slow should be enough. Anything making you retarded, you should be trying to stay away from, man. And it was funny that the more I stayed off of it, the more that shit made sense. Like I would have never believed that if I didn't get off of that shit. If I wouldn't have let it go, I would have never noticed how much clearer shit became. Like I was able to think for the first time. Like it was amazing. It's kind of hard to explain. But okay, that's it for that. Next thing I gave up was chicken or turkey. I don't know, but I'll just do them both. Chicken. Might as well start with chicken. Chicken was probably the thing I gave up next. Chickens are the fucking swine of the bird family. That's what they are. Chickens will eat their own shit. If you pile up chickens, this is one of the things that stopped me from eating them. One of my things I'll never forget. Pile some chickens up in cages on top of each other and let them shit. And let the shit just fall down. The birds at the bottom will eat the shit that's coming from the birds above them. Yeah, they're foul. Come on, man. You call these motherfuckers foul. Don't give me that spelling bullshit. I'm talking about phonetics. They dirty, nasty, fucking filthy birds. Okay? I don't even remember nothing else about them. That was enough. They eat their own shit, family. They filthy. But if you do any research into how they are raising and processing chickens, then that ought to do it for you right there. Like I said, you shouldn't want to contribute to that shit. And then you ain't gonna want that type of shit in your body. The hormones being released when animals are traumatized are transferred to you or activated in you. So that's the type of shit you need to be thinking about. And if you see how they kick and throw them birds around, chop their beaks off, put them in cages that are so small that they grow into the cages. They got fucking limbs melded and meshed in with cages, and they fucking are like literally part of the cage because they grew into it. Like you have to see that type of shit to believe it. Like don't believe me, go look at it. If you eat that shit, you need to know what the fuck you put in your body and how it got there. Don't be a fucking idiot, man, for real. Like I hate that type of ignorance. You ain't even willing to go see what they did to your shit, but you just gonna sit there and dip it in motherfucking ranch dressing and shit and suck this motherfucker off the bone. You fucking, that's idiot shit. Like that's the type of person who deserved to die. Face first into your motherfucking bucket of chicken. Anyway, turkey releases a hormone that I guess it's a hormone, a chemical, whatever you want to call it. But this shit, I don't want to eat anything that's putting me to sleep. That's a drug. That's a sedative. And if it's a chemical being released, that's definitely a drug. And where the fuck did it come from? Is it naturally coming from the turkey, or did they put it in the turkey? See, I didn't even take that much time to research it. That was enough for me. I was in a place where I'm really just wanting to be as natural as I can. Like, I don't want nothing that's going to make me feel worse. I'm trying to feel better. And remember, that's your goal, family. Is to feel better. Not just go find something that you like that's not pork or beef. You can't just settle for that. What else? Told y'all about the catfish, the shitfish. That's what got me off the fish right there. Which, and I already said, I hope I have said, I'm not anti-fish. The master teacher teach that seafood is good in moderation. And what you need to know, what the fuck is seafood? Shellfish, crab legs, lobster tail, shrimp, clams, oysters. That's not seafood. Those are sea insects. Those are water bugs. And we need to call that shit like what it is. Like, shrimp is the equivalent to roaches. Those are sea roaches. Crabs ain't nothing but big ass spiders. Lobsters are big ass, some kind of crazy looking bug that you probably ain't never, like a cricket maybe. Yeah. Lobster look like a big ass grasshopper or some shit. It's all the same shit, is the point, family. Those are bugs. Those are not fish. Okay? So don't get caught up in that. That was one of my things too. When I got off of the meat, I went hard on the crab legs and lobster tails and all that shit. I was on that shit hard. You can go into a place, go into Hooters, and order some oysters, and on the menu they have a warning telling you that this shit can kill you. And I still ordered it. That's how crazy I was. You go in a place and they tell you that this shit can kill you on the menu, and you still order it. You sick. But yeah, and I would go to work every day. I couldn't figure out why my stomach was fucked up. Why I would be hurting. Like, it wasn't like a indigestion shit. It was some kind of weird pain, or like just felt bad, like sick, like kind of like I had been poisoned. You know, Pimp C told you eat too many shrimp, you get iodine poisoning. We had, learned that if you drink some Zinfandel behind that it'll bring down the toxins. So there are ways to combat that type of shit. But why even do it to yourself in the first place? Like, that shit don't really make sense to me. So I let it go. I let the crabs and all that shit go, all the bugs go, because they were literally making me ill. Like, I could feel that shit. But my research led me to ital living and ital eating, which forbid all shellfish, just like your Bible does. You know what I'm saying? So you already knew that shit wasn't good for you. Look at that shit. If you saw a shrimp run across your goddamn floor, you would have a fit. You would not think, oh, get the pot. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be trying to break out the Old Bay. You would be calling the fucking exterminator. So y'all need to think about that shit. Go and look at some of this shit before you eat it. Have you ever seen a shrimp before it got battered and motherfucking fried? Or before it made its way to your damn grocery store or fish market? Look at that shit, how it come, man. Look at them bugs. Look at them legs on that motherfucker. Look at the eyes and antennas and shit. Look at the lobsters and crabs, man. Look at the motherfuckers. For real, man. Don't be no damn dummy. Like, that shit is dumb for you to be sitting around talking about, I don't want to see how it really look. And you don't want to eat that shit. If you can't be in a situation where you'll kill, cut, and cook that shit yourself, you should not be eating that shit. Point blank, period. I don't eat shit, nothing that I would not kill my motherfucking self. Now, anyway, that's it. Now, like I said, if you're gonna eat fish, then do it in moderation. I would rather you eat fish than tofu and motherfucking TVP and boca and whatever else processed soy bullshit that they got out there. And fish is a whole food. But the water is fucked up, so we have to be careful about that. But the land is fucked up. The air is fucked up. The seeds are fucked up. Most of us are not really getting true organic produce. This shit is GMOs. Everything is fucked up, family. So I don't really get caught up in all that. Melanin will adapt and adjust. You just make the best decisions for you. Listen to yourself. You got to feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it. What else did I start eating? Oh, dairy. Well, milk. That's a pretty easy one. That was pretty easy for me, family. All you gotta do, first of all, lactose intolerant. Most of us are lactose intolerant. Most melanated people. But the reason is because we on some crazy human shit. Only human beings drink milk from another animal. Like, and past the point of nursing. Once you get through nursing, you're done with milk. You don't need no more milk. So whatever we turned milk into, whether you turn it into cheese or ice cream or whatever, it started off milk. You should not have been on no milk or any dairy product after you finish working. Nursing. Right? And I mean, when I'm saying dairy product, I'm including breast milk. Shouldn't be on no dairy products, period. In the first place, you're a human being. You should never been on cow's milk. Would you put your face up under a cow and drink from it? Maybe if you were starving or thirsty. I don't know. If you didn't have a mother. Maybe under some strange circumstance. But not normally or naturally, you wouldn't do that. Okay. So, that was a pretty simple common sense shit for me right there. Besides the fact that it actually takes calcium from your bones instead of give it to you. I think I said all this in the 5 whites, so if y'all want to know about the 5 whites or something that I gave up around that same time, then just go refer back to that video. That'll get into the salt, sugar, white flour, dairy, and the fat, fried foods. So I ain't gonna go into all that right now. Those are the major ones, I believe, that needed to be talked about. That was my reasoning. Yep. So, yeah, I encourage y'all to go check the 5 white shit if you want to know why I don't fuck with those white processed things. But as far as the meats and all of that go, that was it. And, you know, eventually just grew into not cooking and, you know, eating more live things. For a very simple reason that where you get the majority of your nutrients. It's most beneficial for you. I ain't thinking nothing else right now, y'all. Those are the main hang-ups and things that I think most of us are probably stuck
We
on.
kept a water bottle in our refrigerator to drink from, drink ice water. And as long as somebody's in the house, you always go to the refrigerator and you drink out of the glass, see?
The FDA can care less.
The bottom line, they're a business, no matter what they say. And by selling you unhealthy food, they make millions. And no company wants to stop doing that.
He gets excited.
I think it's the big one.
Excited.
I think it's the big one. I can feel it. My heart ain't beating like it should. Instead of going bump, 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 it's going bumpity, thumpity, wumpity.
Heart attack. Heart attack. Heart attack. Heart attack. Heart attack.